подкаста «Окончил». Меня зовут Екатерина Щерба, и сегодня мы берем интервью у вице-президента блокчейн-платформы NEM.
Hi, my name is Katie Sherba, and we're here today with Talking TV and interviewing Vice President of the blockchain project NEM, Джефф Макдональд. So hi, Jeff.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's good to be here.
So how are you enjoying Russia this time?
Russia's been very nice. I spent the last few days talking at different conferences and going around for different business development meetings.
So is it your first, second, third time in Russia?
It's my second time in Russia, but it feels like the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been a really wonderful trip, and I've been able to meet a lot of important people, some people from the government, some people from industry, some people from banking, a lot of people in the crypto sphere. It's been a really good trip, and I'm happy to see that NEM is getting to be more famous inside of Russia, and that people are really starting to get what our project is.
Awesome. So let's start from the beginning. I'm interested to know, how did a Master of Arts happen to get involved into the entire crypto world?
Sure. So yes, I have a Master's of Arts in the History of Religion, which is not a typical blockchain degree. But to be fair, when I started, there wasn't any blockchain degrees. It was basically a lot of people that were just experimenting and playing around with blockchain. So I was living in South Korea. I was working as an assistant professor, and every month I would send money home to America to pay for my student loans. And I was paying bank fees every month, about $50. And so if I sent $1,000 to America, when it got there, I got $950. I discovered Bitcoin. I discovered that I could buy Bitcoin in South Korea, transfer it to America, and then cash it out. And instead of getting $950 or $975 or even $1,000, I was getting $1,050, $1,075, $1,100. Because I learned that at that time, people were actually selling Bitcoins in South Korea for very cheap and buying them for a high premium price in America. Now it's switched. South Korea has a premium, but at the time, I could buy them for very cheap. So it was a wonderful time, and I just got fully excited that, wow, this is better than the banks. Instead of getting charged money, I get paid money to transfer money overseas. I was doing arbitrage. So I was really excited about Bitcoin and all the blockchain technology, and that's kind of what led me to NEM.
And as far as I know, you've jumped aboard a NEM project just before it launched, about 3 or 4 months.
Yes. Yeah,
and how did it happen, and what actually moved you towards doing that?
You know, the NEM developers at that point had rewritten the NEM blockchain from scratch. They did 100% original code, and they had launched it on the testnet. And I was able to look at the testnet. I was able to talk with the developers. I was able to find out what their future roadmap was, and I really just knew that these developers at NEM were really smart guys. And I was excited about their vision, and I wanted to join the team. So yeah, in late 2014, I joined the NEM team as an official core member. And then in April of 2015, we launched the NEM blockchain project. So I wasn't part of the team that originally started the project, but I came in on the later stages of pre-launch development.
Awesome. And so how long did it take for people to start taking NEM seriously? Because as I've read, there were some sort of mixed feelings about the project.
Well, and that's partially our own fault. NEM had this great back-end technology, but we didn't have good marketing at all. We were a bunch of people that were kind of random and decentralized throughout the internet, that had met on a forum. And you have to understand too that we didn't have any money. By the time when I joined the team, the full balance of all money collected during the call for participation was zero. So, you know, NEM existed in this time before ICOs. And when NEM was launched, like, there was no such thing as a big ICO. And so all of our money basically came from self-funding. And like, I remember the first conference I went to, I made the brochures on my home computer and we printed them out at the university, and then I paid for my bus tickets and tickets for the conference, and then I handed out these brochures. We didn't even have money for a booth, right? And so that was basically how marketing started at NEM. It was a lot of self-funded trips with no budget by true believers. And you know, our market cap was trading under $1 million, less than $1 million, and we had some funds set aside, but they were basically nothing. And eventually, you know, our market cap grew to more than 5 billion times. That's like a 5,000 times increase. If someone would have invested $1,000 for the first year while we launched, when the market cap was under $1 million, they'd have $5 million. And now what we find out is a lot of people still don't necessarily take us so seriously. It's a little disappointing when I hear big blockchain reports and they don't mention NEM at all. But what we do have is a set of developers, not the core developers, but second-party and third-party projects that are building on NEM.
Right, using NEM's blockchain.
Yeah, that have discovered our technology, that have been like, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for. I tried to build on Bitcoin, it didn't work. I tried to build on Ethereum, it didn't work. I tried Hyperledger, it didn't work. I tried NEM, and it just worked. It just worked the way that it was supposed to. And so a lot of our excitement in our community has come from these people that kind of stumbled upon our blockchain and found the technology and loved it. And so that's kind of where we are today. And we're spreading, and it's getting very exciting. Yeah.
And so 4 years after the beginning of the project, did you manage to keep all the team, the entire staff of people on board?
We've had a full turnover of marketers. So the original marketing team that started off with NEM basically was a revolving door. People came in, people came out, and like I said, our marketing wasn't very, very good. I think whenever I joined the team in late 2014, we had like 6 people on the marketing team. 2 of us are still around today. That's Lon, who's the president, and myself, who's the vice president. And the rest of the marketers have left. And even before that point, there was a whole rotating doors of marketers. Now, for core developers, the 3 core developers that coded 99% of NEM, the original version, are still here today and are still driving the development and are kind of the core backbone of the technology. And so they did 99% of the original NEM core, and they've done 100% of the new version called Catapult, which has been in development for 27 months. It's a very exciting project.